Yeah, to be honest, they deserve it after they showed my stuff to Mike and Romance. They stole it. I mean, oh, that was for you, dude.
Hello.
Hello!
Hello and good evening and welcome to HMV Oxford Street. My name is Will Gamble and I have the honour of hosting the Q&A this evening with the Offspring. Before we start, just to let you know that on exit you'll receive a tote bag with some goodies and a signed art card. But the main event, back with their 11th studio album Supercharged, out on 11th of October, please welcome Dexter and Noodles, the Offspring.
Wow, thank you. Jeez.
UK crowd, man.
I feel so famous. This is awesome.
Welcome!
Well, welcome back to the UK.
Thank you. Thank you.
First time in town since download, I guess.
I think so, yeah.
Which you absolutely rocked.
Who was that? Yeah. Hands up. Yeah. It's download, that was very muddy, hey?
It was.
Mud load.
Yeah.
It was super muddy, but we were lucky. It wasn't raining when we played. It was super sunny, but everything was still, a foot deep of mud.
You had the best of the British summertime, eh? That's how it always is, though, right?
True. With that much sunshine, it would have been weird if it wasn't muddy. It was really sunny.
Makes it feel like a proper festival over here that way, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, exactly. Well, congratulations on the new album. I absolutely love it. So you said that you wanted Supercharged to be full of pure energy from the start to finish. What moments on the record do you feel defines that statement?
Well, Light It Up would be one, I guess, right? Songs like that.
Even some of the slower ones, like Make It All Right, I think has plenty of energy to it. I mean, it makes me want to move on stage every night when we play it.
People say it sounds like our old shit.
It does.
That's
a bad thing, I guess, right? It's all right.
Yeah.
Especially the back end of the album is the pace picks up and whoa.
Yeah, there's some different stuff on this record as far it's fast paced, but Come to Brazil is very different for us. You guys haven't heard it yet, have you? So it won't be long now, though. We can't wait. We can't wait for you guys to hear the whole thing.
I know. We were just fired up making this record, and we couldn't wait to get it out and just make it super high energy and super in your face and fuck yeah, that kind of
get some. That gives you that fuck yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Dude,
Following Come to Brazil.
Get Some is one of the funnest ones for me. It's a super fast, riffy. It's a riff-driven song. A lot of energy. It's just fun too. It's like a fun song. It's not.
I think the whole album's fun. I think it's very fun album.
Awesome, thanks.
But yeah, so where did you record the album, and did recording in these locations shape the record any differently?
We did most of it at our place in Huntington Beach. It's just a small place, not really a proper studio, but and then we did some work in Hawaii, and we finished it up in Vancouver. So all over the place. But I mean, we like working at home, I guess. Usually.
Yeah, definitely. And it is kind of like our studio, even though it's kind of small, is a refuge for us. We go in there and have a cup of coffee, talk to Bob about what's going on in the world, any new music we've heard, an old record that we found new appreciation for, and discuss ideas, and then start making music. Bob Rock, our producer, is the Bob.
Sure.
I'm speaking of, yes.
And are there any of those new albums that sort of influenced it that you discovered?
Oh gosh, it could be anything.
Yeah.
It could be an old Bowie record, Hunky Dory by Bowie. I remember talking to Bob about that. It could be a documentary that we saw about an old band. Anything new, anything old, anything that's good.
Yeah.
Lovely. And you mentioned Bob Rock there, and for this new album, he's worked with everyone from Metallica to Simple Plan to Nelly Furtado. What is it about your continued collaboration that excites you the most?
I did not know Bob worked with Nelly Furtado.
I didn't know that either.
It makes sense now. I had no idea. Yeah, see, you learn something new every day.
We'll have to ask him about that.
He's been holding out on me.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
Brilliant.
What was the question?
What is it about your continued collaboration that excites you the most?
Bob is he's a pushing force more than anything else. He kind of pushes us in the direction that we would have eventually gotten to.
Yeah.
And what that means is when we're working on something and it sucks, he can tell us that it sucks without making us feel bad and push us to make it better. So that's really the producer's job, to push us in a direction we would go anyways, and to do it. You know.
It is true. We've had producers go, "It's really not very good, is it?" You know.
This song is beyond you. We've had that.
We have that. Yeah.
Do you ever push back on this album? Is there a song?
There's always times when Dexter will, and Bob might go, "This, are you sure this is what you want to do?" He's not feeling it, and he'll go, "No, Bob, this is the right thing in this part." It does happen, you know. But usually it's always good-natured, and at the end, usually we all come together and go, "You know what, that was the right call. That was the right call to make on that."
Yeah, if one of us isn't sure, usually it means let's just try a couple more things, and usually we end up someplace better.
It's always the
Usually,
best. Yeah. And Dexter, I was watching some of your old interviews that the pair of you have done over the years. One that stood out to me was with Zane Lowe around the release of Conspiracy of One in 2000. And your quote was, "We always try to make the artwork really special, like a comic book." And I've noticed some of the visuals on Spotify with the two singles that you've released with the Skeletons. What's the theme there?
The themes, we found that skeletons really work. They really work. I think we need out more skeletons, right? Actually, there's this book I discovered that was done by Brian May, one of our heroes and stuff.
Oh, yes.
And it's these old cards called Diableries, and they're kind of like the first 3D cards. You had to have a special viewer to look at them, and they were done in the 1800s. And they're all these crazy skeleton scenes. Almost like dioramas or something, and I thought it would be cool to kind of base our artwork on these old dioramas. And so the artist that we like to work with, David, he came up with all these images for the album. We were really stoked.
Yeah, awesome. And I mean, I can back on this. I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah,
it's so striking.
His idea. Yeah,
I love it.
Brian May went into hospital today, so he was just been in hospital today. Brian May.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
He's seriously ill.
Yes, poorly.
Oh, no.
He was in a slight stroke.
Oh, jeez. Well, we're sending him all our
Hope
thoughts,
everything's okay.
positive vibes. Yeah, he's one of the nicest guys in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, legendary musician and genius astrophysicist, PhD, but just one of the nicest guys in the world. So I hope he's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your two favorite songs off the new album each, and why?
So two each, or
One each. Sorry. You can take two. I'll give you two.
All of them. I'm going to go with "Hanging by a
That's a
Thread."
very
Is
good
one of my favorites. It's definitely sounds like us, and it's angsty, and it's kind of like frustrated and wanting to fight back. So I love that song, and it's got some great guitar work in it. Dexter actually does the solo in that. It's got the Middle Eastern solos that he's really good at. I love that one.
Once in a while, I get a guitar solo. I really love Truth and Fiction. It's the
I
fastest.
fight him for him, believe me. Yeah.
It's the fastest song on the record, Truth and Fiction, and it's kind of about the idea that we don't even agree on what the truth is anymore, and we can take our own fictions and say that they're true, and I just thought it was an interesting thing to write about.
Yeah, absolutely. My favourite bits, well, I have two. Get Some, I love the back end of the album, and Get Some, and Come to Brazil.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like thrash metal-y almost.
Yeah. So, I mean, on our social media, you guys have probably seen it. We can post something like, we're gonna go on tour, and the fans will say, come to Brazil, of course. You see that a lot. But we can post anything. It can be like, hey, happy birthday to Noodles, and their answers are, come to Brazil, come to Brazil. we can say, we're coming to Brazil, and they say, come to Brazil. And I'm sure you guys have seen it, right? This is a real thing, and we finally realized, oh my God, we got to write a song called Come to Brazil. I can't believe no one's done this yet. So we write a song about how we're really flattered and we love going to Brazil and all that stuff, but the song's about the fans, and so it has some Brazil-friendly parts in it, like very.
Well, this is one of the only songs you've ever written where the idea and the lyric was first, and then you built the song around that. Usually the melody, the rhythm, drums, all that comes first, and then the lyrics are dead last.
That's true. We laughed. We go, oh my God, Come to Brazil. That's the title. Like, okay, well, what does that sound like? You know, we actually, what would it be like? Yeah.
Big Anthony chorus.
Yeah.
And
And the ole ole.
Ole, ole,
Yeah. Ole.
And what's it like to perform out in South America? Like we, in the UK, we see all the videos when you go out to Brazil or Argentina or Chile. What's that audience? How does that differ to, say, a European audience or an American audience?
Yeah, they're pretty crazy down there in South America. Chile, Brazil, and Argentina especially, I think. But it's not entirely different. I mean, we have crazy fans here. I mean, like we said, Download Festival
It's
went
incredible.
off.
Yeah.
Yes!
Just nuts. So yeah, you get some knuckle cases.
Yes, I am Offspring!
So yeah, that's what Brazil's like.
No, we're better. I'm better.
Oh, brilliant. So switching up now, you're going to go far, kid. It's just hit 1 billion streams. I mean, that's an incredible amount of streams. And obviously back in the day, it spent 11 weeks at #1 in the US. So from that song itself, all the way through to the video that came alongside it, the track has had a huge amount of influence over modern culture. Not just in the alternative space, but the entire music space. 16 years later, what does that song mean to you both today?
Well, I'm really amazed. I mean, glad it hit 1 billion, and I had to put it on repeat and kept on pressing play for 15 years. It really took a long time, but we finally got there.
We called our families and had to do the same. But yeah, after
We were all doing
years,
the same.
yeah,
Here we
took
are,
us
yeah.
16 years,
Yeah,
but we got
that's
there.
right. And Drake still beat us, but that's all right.
I remember when before that song was released, playing the record for my son, and he loved, especially the dance fucker dance part, and but I thought, oh, this song could be something, because my son loves it, you know, who was 4 at the time or whatever, so yeah.
Yeah, just, I mean, really, what an honor. How cool to hit 1 billion streams. Who'd have thought?
And up next to hit 1 billion streams will be The Kids Aren't Alright.
Yes!
That's right.
Yes! Well served.
It's at like, what, 989 or something like
I
that.
was hoping it was going to hit.
So we're going to go home right now, we're going to hit repeat.
Yeah, we're almost there.
We're almost there. Yeah.
But if we all do it, maybe we'll get
Yes,
there. You know?
please. Yeah, give it a listen.
But yeah, from 1 billion streaming artist to another, Ed Sheeran, obviously you did the collaboration with him at Bottle Rock in California. How did this come about, the whole from start to finish? Obviously we know the tattoo.
That was really cool, I gotta say. It was really cool. And it was kind of Noodle's idea, actually.
Well, I had heard that he was an Offspring fan, and I saw that we were playing the same day, and I said, hey, let's reach out, see if he's up for a collaboration. We never really did a lot of that. We had just done the Brian May thing right before that, and I said, let's try Ed Sheeran. I like him. I'm a big fan, especially like his singer-songwriter stuff. I really love that stuff. And he said yes, he wanted to do it. And it turns out that the first record he ever bought himself was Conspiracy of One, and he asked if he could do Million Miles Away with us. He chose the song, and we said absolutely. And he came out, he traded lyrics with Dexter, went back and forth head to head, and it sounded amazing. It was great.
And the rumor was that he had an Offspring tattoo, right? Which we thought, this can't be true. So
Right.
we asked him, and he lifts up his shirt, and there it is. And it was a big chair in the dressing
Yeah,
room. Like,
I got to touch it.
You can touch mine, it's not as impressive.
Could he be on the podcast? Potential guest?
Oh, that'd be rad.
I know,
that'd be cool.
I'd love to pick his brain.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to just have a pint with the guy. Really, we
Yeah.
haven't been able to do that yet. We were in and out of Napa, unfortunately.
The time will come, 100%.
Yeah, I hope so.
But also you mentioned that you've obviously collaborated with the legendary Brian May as well. But the other one that's really stood out recently is Youngblood.
Yeah.
Obviously at Open Air, and it's gone viral, and that video of you guys in the dressing room is just electric.
Yeah.
You know, I love that so much. And he's doing some great things in the UK, and recently he had Bloodfest. Does anyone here go to Bloodfest? Yeah, a couple of people. Where, you know, he's supporting acts coming through and trying to make things more affordable for the fans, like the down play, soft play, Lil Yachty. Is he somebody you consider working with in the future, potentially?
he's too low energy for me.
Chill.
Yeah, I guess.
I know, we wouldn't have to do anything, just set him in front of the stage and go back and forth, and hype man, he was great.
It was hard to keep up with that guy. Yeah, he's the real deal. His
Yeah, no,
energy
he was fun.
for days. Yeah, he just came off Bloodfest. He was so stoked, so he was very excited, and he was stoked to come play with us. I love the backstage moments. We've done a few of those where we
So
just,
cool.
just us playing with somebody that we're inspired by. And those moments are rad. So, and then once you take the stage, then it's just kind of like, whoa, this is out of this world.
I think it's amazing as a fan to have that sort of like keyhole and seeing what goes on behind the scenes before something like that, takes place. It's amazing. And the future of UK music. At the moment, are there any British acts in particular that you guys have your eyes on?
I'm a big fan of the Rolling Stones. I think
They got potential.
they got real
I think
potential.
so, yeah.
Mick Jagger is as old as the president of our country.
Yep.
Yeah.
Scary, isn't it?
And of the two, I would vote for Mick Jagger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again. I usually write him in.
Yeah.
What about the Beatles?
They're okay.
Great, well we'll move on to the fans' questions. I know I met lots of you earlier outside, and we whittled it down to about 7 or 8 questions. So, first question comes from Joel. Is Joel in the crowd? Yeah, right there. Hey Joel.
Yes, hi.
So his question is, which song of yours surprised you with how popular it became?
I'm gonna have to go with "Come Out and Play." Just that's the song that really broke for us.
I was
And
going to say, the first one.
Yeah, I loved the song. I thought it was fun. I had no idea what was going to happen with the fun, but it's about a serious subject. It's about gangsters killing gangsters, and but it is it's a unique song. It sounds happy and upbeat, and you kind of listen to it and go, "Ooh, that's dark." So.
Right, and yourself, Dexter?
I was going to say, there's a couple of songs, you guys know all the titles and stuff, but like when we go to Japan, some songs do better than other places. Like for some reason, One Fine Day, I don't know if you guys know that song. It's huge in Japan. And the song that doesn't do so well in Japan is Self-Esteem. Doesn't quite go over in
No,
Japan.
we don't end with Self-Esteem in Japan. Sometimes we leave it off the set list completely. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. But One Fine Day. But that makes it fun for us. We get to play a different song.
Is that the only country you leave that song off the set list?
Yes.
Yeah. That's incredible. Wow.